Say 5 feet 2,
Oh, it was pretty good.
5 feet 2,
That's okay, we'll start over.
5 feet 2. The
I heard you do something like that.
chicas.
No, I was just-
Has anybody seen my gal? Has anybody seen my gal?
Yay! Yay! And so once again, we're with Bernice Silver
Yeah.
and Pete Seeger over here. And Pete, you just finished up singing for us here.
Well, we always have a song fest at our sleep of festivals. We have a strawberry festival in June, a corn festival in August, and pumpkin festival in October. And there's every first Friday of the month, we have a potluck supper. We got permission from the city to use an old diner. They were going to tear it down.
Right on.
Because the bridge was built, the ferry closed, and they just abandoned the diner. It was rotting away.
Wow.
But we needed a place to meet. They said, go ahead, you can use it.
I love recycling. Reuse, right?
But we had some carpenters, and we made it a little bigger. We pushed this wall out 7 feet, and nobody complained. So we pushed the other wall out about another 8 feet. They gave us an inch, we took a yard. And now we can squeeze 100 people in there sometimes.
Excellent, excellent. I was actually up here on Friday for your events, and it's really fun thing to do. Once again, I recommend everyone to come out to the first Friday of every month here at the Beacon Sloop Club and help keep the Hudson clean. 40 years worth of cleaning up the Hudson here, you guys. So this one can go kayaking on her 98th birthday. How's that?
To my life.
Right on, right on. Now let's get back to like where you guys, back to your youth and basically what you guys were basically up to. You said you were an activist at a very young age.
At a very young age, I became very much aware of the inequities of life. And I got out of school and decided to go to work. I couldn't find a job and just was walking around the roads,
There you go.
actually. And it was really a very, very difficult period because it was the Depression year, beginning of the Depression.
Beginning of the Depressions.
Depression years. They were rough on the young youth, just as they are on the youth today. And it's worse, actually, almost today, because of the high prices of living so inadequate.
So how did you get into that? How did you all of a sudden, did you just wake up one day and say, gee, I think I need to get out there and be a part of making and shaking this world and not just being someone that's just observing and pacifying?
No, I found I looked for things.
And what about you, Pete? How did you get involved in taking action, I would say?
Way back 100 years ago, there was an extraordinary labor leader named Eugene V. Debs. And he had a strike of the Pullman company, the big railroad company. And the Democratic Party, which had always claimed to be more liberal than the Republican Party, came in with their guns and National Guards and so on, and they broke the strike. Debs decided that only socialism would save the world. He ran for president, got 200,000 votes, but 4 years later got 400,000 votes. And 4 years later, he got 800. No, I said 5,000, a million. 800,000. He said, if I keep on doubling my vote, I'll be president of the United States. But then World War I came along and it split the Socialist Party. Some socialists were actually a little conservative. Victor Berger, congressman, socialist congressman from Milwaukee, they don't bring any more African Americans in the Socialist Party. The whites will leave. Well, on the other hand, some of the radical socialists says, no, black and white working together, we will bring the future. And they call themselves communists. And in the 20s, they both ran for president. We had people running for president, which got the few votes. I think Norman Thomas ran 6 times for president and got fewer votes every time. But the communists didn't do much better. The communists always claimed that they were real communists. On the other hand, Stalin was a very cruel man. And exactly how cruel people could not realize until Khrushchev, when Stalin died. Khrushchev eventually became the boss. He liked to speak off the cuff. He said, it was a Communist Party meeting, 5,000 people there. He says, you know, Comrade Stalin was a strong leader, and he won the war against Hitler. He led us to win the war against Hitler. But he was very cruel. He sent people off to Siberia without giving them any chance to defend themselves. Not just thousands, not just hundreds of thousands, but millions. Well, there was a dead silence. And someone shouted, "Why didn't you speak up?" And all of Khrushchev now, he didn't just speak, "Who said that?" And there was dead silence. And now he said, "Now you see why I did not speak up." Well, all around the world, communists resigned from the Communist Party. This is the kind of thing that goes on. We don't want to be members. My father had been a member of the Communist Party around the early 30s. Oh, he and some other modern musicians had a group they called the Composers Collective. They said they had farmers' collectives. Why not have a composers' collective? But the music they composed, the proletariat didn't think it was much. No working people ever sang their crazy modern music. And things like Schoenberg in Germany. And so, and when Stalin got, Stalin called them the purge trials, and he got rid of his opponents on the Central Committee, Buchanan, and these people were all executed on nothing more than tortured confessions. Tortured confession. When my father read the translations of those trials, he, in his words, he got out. And now there are a few people who call themselves communists. Some of them are actually members of the party, but their newspaper is now on the internet. It's not printed anymore.
Right.
But I believe that one of the big mistakes of the human race is to think that any one group can solve all the problems in the world. The people with money can break up any big thing they want. But what are they going to do about millions of small things?
Right.
And this is what's going on Wall Street.
Well, that's what I was
now.
going to ask you. What's your view on Wall Street now with this 99%? And you too.
I think
what you guys are thinking.
the very fact that it's not organized is the good thing about it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a young and old there, black and white and Latino, and they don't know who each others are, but they're down here and in effect saying, we think people are more important than money.
Yes, absolutely.
That's the wonderful thing about what's happening.
Yes, Bernice, you were telling me that I asked you if you were going to go downtown. You said, "Oh, no. And I was like, whoa, why? You know, I was like, because you talked about being an activist all these years, and you basically said what? What was the reasoning? That you...
Well, the only reason I would be there.
You would be down there.
Yeah, my spirit is there. And I have been watching TV very, very closely. And as a matter of fact, I almost feel that all the things I say to people continuously, because the young people like me, and they say I inspire them, and I tell them because of my years, and yet I'm still here to tell them.
Yep.
You see, so they come to me and I can give them certain things that what's happening is so continuous and so it's like you take what is happening with our water, the basic element of life. I mean, we need water. Without water, there is no longer any
What did you say earlier? You
reason to
don't miss
be.
the water until there's nothing left in the well?
Well, that's